Go. All right, we're back. He's here.
We're back.
We're back. Do it again, Griffith.
It's Louis Amistoy,
Yes.
Mike Griffith, and we've got David Sullivan.
David
the
Sullivan.
great David Sullivan. Announcer extraordinaire from Bakersfield Speedway.
How do you like the gig? I mean, it's been we haven't really had a chance to
And
talk
he used to
you.
play a pretty good trombone.
Absolutely, yeah. It was funny when Budweiser called and they needed an announcer. Steve had moved over. I'm on my sofa going, I don't want to do this. Come on. I've been retired for 10 years. But went out and talked to him. Long story short, I got started. The first 3 weeks, I just wanted to hide. It was really tough with first of all, the fans there. They know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I have loved it. And I've enjoyed it so much. The action's great. The people there are fantastic. And so I promised Scott at least one more year, maybe 4. So I'm glad I came back.
Got to come back. Last year being your year, a pretty emotional year. Give some of your insights into what working last year was like.
Well, with Mike Mosier, obviously an institution there, and so I just kind of followed his lead. I knew it was his show, but he was so easy. We started right off talking, and it was really easy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, time went on. I could see the pain that Mike was suffering.
Yeah.
When a lot of people didn't. He literally last couple of races he was helped to the tower, and he never left.
Yeah.
So I kind of watched this, and we kind of helped him out. And then the Mike Mosier night, the Classic, which is Wayne and Wendy Dotson put together with a lot of help from a lot of other people.
Right.
But I went to the mayor's office and see if we could do a proclamation. And not only did he get that, he got a key to the city.
Right.
And it really instilled on us at that night that he was very, very sick, first of all.
Yeah.
And I was honored to be, working with him for his last year.
And did you have a relationship with him at all beforehand, or what was what was your dealings with him like?
I just had a dealing with him. I did some consultant work for Doug Baton and him and Steve Hughes.
Okay.
And I kind of thought he wouldn't like me.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? That wasn't the truth at all. We sat down in the negotiations, and, he was easygoing. Whatever I didn't want to do, he said, fine, no problem. And so I was pleasantly surprised and relieved, because I certainly wanted to help out Scott.
Right. And what was the one thing you learned from Mike Mosier? Have you taken any of his sort of thing? And one of the things I was amazed by was that he just seemed to remember everyone's name and gave shout outs, and generally seemed to be interested and care about what you were up to.
Yeah, he knew everybody, first of all. And there was sometimes he would tell me the history of the Johnsons, let's say,
Right.
or the Childresses, whatever. But, after he left, we still do some Mosierisms from time to time.
Yeah.
But basically I got on with my show
Right.
with Brian Smith and the cameos from Rick Childress.
Right.
But we do instill, and we say it every night, it's Mike Mosier Tower, and we think about him every night.
Right.
So,
Right. What's what's the biggest thing you're impressed with Bakersfield Speedway moving forward? What do you enjoy about going up there?
well, first of all, car counts have been up. Last year, car counts was up. A lot of cars came every Saturday night.
Yeah.
This year, we've had a couple shows that were a little light, but, for example, last weekend, we had 84 cars in the pits.
Right.
And the action, I really think, guys, I could just put on a recording, because the race needs no commentating whatsoever.
Right.
And it's exciting, it's side by side, it's free wide, and that carries the show. Since Mike has left, the fans and the crowd have, they kind of accepted me more.
Right.
And I really enjoy that. We interact with the fans by going out, giving out T-shirts or whatever contest, and so the fans are so knowledgeable, and plus they're such a giving people.
Yeah. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I'm surprised every time we have a charity and the money they can raise there, but it's like one big family in the stands. I don't do a lot of participation in the pits per se.
Yeah.
We do our afternoon stuff, Brian and I do, and then we go to the tower, and then that's where we stay. But I would imagine that most tracks have some of this.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they. I mean, it's such a. I've been so impressed when I've gone there at the quality of the commentary between yourself and Mike, and then Mike and Steve before that. And I haven't been out. I was out earlier this year, I guess the one time, but I've been very impressed. Now, how is it like to deal with this guy? I mean, does he behave himself? I need to. Let me take down some notes. I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna put this in his file.
First of all, we ought to get to some photos.
Oh, that's true.
We've
Sorry.
got a lot of stuff to talk
Go
about.
ahead. Let's show some photos of what happened here. This.
Whoa, where did we get this?
Oh my gosh!
Hold it.
It's like a
Who's
Yeti
this?
sighting.
Usually this guy's in the infield, and look at that small flash.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even know he owned a flash that small.
Neither did I, but
That's incredible.
a little,
everywhere.
a little stealth video there, and then
rewind that
you can
and do
see
that
what
again. Do that
this
again.
is
I
what
wanna
he
see
came
that.
up with.
Oh, that's pretty.
There we go.
That's very.
So
Wait, go back to the
congratulations.
video again. I need to see the video one more time. Oh yeah.
You could actually see we had a large crowd that night.
That was a good- that's a
full
good shot.
house, waiting for the racing, and then, of course, the fireworks.
Yeah.
It went on
And
for
then,
like, I don't know how long
yeah.
they go on, Mike, like
Yeah.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty good, like 2,400 aerial fireworks
Yeah.
there. It was pretty good.
It was pretty
good
good.
show. And Tom coming up here trying something different and getting us this photo. So I want to thank him for that.
I think creatively, let's just go through these photos for a second, if you don't mind, because I think creatively, this was coming up. They're off this weekend, coming up July 9th. We'll have late models, sport mods, IMCA stocks, American stocks, mini stocks, and that's Jack FM night, and then back to the regular schedule. Scott couldn't be with us today because he's in Tahoe. So there's that.
There you go.
The work that Tom did here, I think, is some of his best, quite frankly, in the 3 years we've been doing this show. Just from this one particular event, because he showed tremendous range, and there's a lot of different experimentation here with this. So I don't know. I mean, you deal with Tom at all?
Yeah, actually, when we go down to the interviews, we have to wait, first of all, for Tom to get the shot of the driver coming out of the car.
Right.
Well, actually, that time he went to the roof, he said, hey, I got to be upstairs, okay, and then I'm going to come back down for this. And I didn't know what he's doing up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's taking pictures. But the one thing, when I was waiting to come on the show, that from the Speedway, I
Yeah.
saw the photos from Tom Mock.
Right.
Does he photograph everything?
Yeah, absolutely. You name it, he'll do it.
Yeah.
He'll get to all three in his thing. Like, he'll call us up. He says, I'm going to do all three. Are you going to make it? I'm like, nope. He'll get there, and
Yeah.
he'll shoot. And it's
And
incredible.
he's got a lot of here. Chris might as well roll through
Yeah,
some
roll
of these
through these
videos
photos, yeah.
because I mean these photos because he's got a lot, and that is not a hobby stock. That's an American stock, and Tom would want you to know that,
Yeah.
Lewis.
I can't tell them apart. I
I
can
know
kind of
that.
tell the modifieds and the sport. I have trouble with the American and the hobby stocks.
But yeah, it was pretty good racing.
Is this the American stocks
This is the
race?
American stock race here, and
Yeah, it was Dakota Brown got out in the front. He's the point leader, and Trevor Baker dogged him until I don't know if they'll have the video of it. Coming out of turn 4, slower traffic played a part, and just slammed Dakota into the wall. And Trevor Baker winning his second feature this year.
yeah, Dakota
see.
just got caught up. We'll see here in just in a second, but they came up on slower traffic in that end of the night for Dakota, who was looking for his second win, and instead you got Trevor Baker, who is hounding him anyway.
Yeah.
He ends up getting his second
Yeah,
win.
Baker was third points going in. Dakota was the leader, but the Dakota Brown's car when he hit the wall, I mean, it hit hard. The front end was completely smashed.
You see right
and they're
here.
running this week or in 2 weeks,
Ooh.
and hope they see.
Yeah.
Now, that was totally unavoidable and a hard hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trevor went on to get the win there. A lot of
But again, some more of these
ju-
shots.
just a great crowd
yeah,
there.
great
and,
crowd.
Yeah.
Good shots by Tommy. Mixed it up. He had the sport mods, the IMCA modifieds, the hobby stocks, and American stocks all racing, going the wrong way here, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not going to do you any good.
Got some shots of action in the pits. I mean, just an incredible array of photos. This is one of my favorite shots too.
This is earlier in the night before all the
I
crowd
think I should
got
make
there
this
too.
the cover shot on the Facebook page.
That was Tina Pounds came back
Yeah.
in first race since she had twins,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think April 1st. And so
Yeah.
that was her first race back. And she actually came through the field and finished, what, fourth or fifth?
Fourth, yeah, she actually did a great job. One of the things we saw a lot of drivers that haven't
Wait, back up.
Whoops.
See, look, there it is. By the way, if for all your transmission needs, go to Gill's Transmissions. You will get great customer service there. Look it up online, Gill's Transmissions. There's the ad right there in the middle.
And the thing here is look how wide they are.
Yeah.
I mean, there were several times during the night, and the video showed as well, 3, 4 wide coming out of turn 4. So
Yeah, we see 3 wide a lot. 4 wide scares us a bit, but there's Robbie Sawyer 1, and all these drivers and the ones that showed up for the first time this year, they had stories about Richie McGowan.
yeah,
And that's why they were there. Tina Pounds was one of
Yeah.
them. And Robbie Sawyer, in his interview, he just told me the story and how it was close to his heart and how he wanted to win this race. And after that, what am I going to do? Ask another dumb question? How was the track tonight?
No.
I just said, thank you very much, and walked off. Enough said.
Enough
Yeah,
said.
and
Yeah.
that was Robbie led from start to finish, and Bobby Hogue came on strong. Yellow came out, and there was a 1-lap dash for the win, and Robbie held Bobby off. So
And because Bobby Hogue, I think for a while there had the keys to that facility.
yeah, and another strong run by Ricky Childress Jr. Both of Hogue and Childress came from far back in the pack, so
Yeah.
good run by
Yeah.
them. And Kyle Wood, first driver to get 2 wins in hobby stock, so he's the first repeat winner, 7 different winners this year, and pretty good racing in that class as well. Then you had Chris McKellar get the win in Sport Mod.
And you see the trophy, by the way? Can we go back? Yeah, the trophy it was custom made. They wanted it industrial looking.
Yeah.
And that thing weighs over 30 pounds,
Holy
by the
smokes,
way.
really?
Yeah.
And the deal about that trophy is obviously Richie McGowan and MMI Oilfield Services
exactly.
Company. And that was their business. They're an oilfield service company, and so that's such an appropriate trophy for the Richie McGowan Memorial.
I always wonder why Tom doesn't take a picture of me when I'm interviewing the driver.
I don't know.
I have to ask him, I
We're going to
guess.
have to figure that out.
The
So
winner
again,
there,
American saw
obviously,
Trevor Baker,
Baker.
who showed the video, was the winner there. J.R. Garcia in second, and Tyler Johnson in your top 3. So there you go.
So a pretty good night at the Speedway. Good fireworks show, good crowd. Probably the best crowd of the year since the World of Outlaws race.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you get the weekend off, rest up, and then back to July 9th. Looking forward to it, I bet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Most of the employees are gone. They'll be taking this weekend off.
Right.
I'll be staying home, but I'll stick around the house, but looking forward to go back on the 9th, and we'll start, the second half of the season, so to speak. And,
Absolutely.
And a lot of good races yet to come.
What's the best storyline coming out of through this first half so far for you?
For me personally,
Just for the drivers
Oh,
you've seen, or the competition you've seen, or what are you enjoying so far?
I tell you what, you touched on it earlier, but Bobby Hogue, who had, as you said, had keys to the place.
Yeah.
He's been down here a couple of times. He hasn't won.
Yeah.
And what a gracious guy, by the way. But he hasn't won. He's raised the bar, and you notice things like that. I think as I look back at this season and look forward to the second half of the season, it's just if the fans, and they show up sit in the same seat, and they show up every Saturday with their families, and then the drivers come out, and the out-of-town drivers, ask them, and they'll tell you they come there because our local drivers are so tough.
Yep.
And so I carry that with me when we see Alex Stanford, Bobby Hogue, Logan Drake, people like that come to our track.
Nice. All right. Thank you, David Sullivan, for joining us here on the Power Hour.
My pleasure.
We're going to have Kern County Raceway Park up to finish things up here on the day. We'll be right back after these messages.